I love Walc because I got to meet Nancy. We got to go camping, that's why.
Walc is about knowing the connections to your inner self.
The experiences and everything that Walc showed me in school.
I love Walc because they feed us all the time, man. Like all the time.
I love Walc because it's all about deserts and desserts.
Community of students that participate in camping trips to state and national parks and also do environmental activism here in San Francisco.
We work in activism and a specific focus actually on ethnic studies within the two humanities courses.
That uses environmental education concepts and field study experiences as analytical frameworks to integrate science, social studies, and English.
And so then when we go on our camping trips, we talk about how all these different subjects relate to each other, and then we relate it to the environment that's around us and to ourselves.
And it's a very fun pathway. We get to do legacy projects. We go to McLaren Park to do restoration work, habitat restoration. What you experience in Walc, it's different from any other experience that you'll ever experience.
I love Walc because you just get to be so close with all your peers and stuff, like all the other pathways. You don't really get to experience that because you don't have, those overnight trips that Walc has to offer. My first outdoor experience was in Lake Tahoe, and I never really expected to get as close as to the people in my Walc class as I did during the experience. We were lumped together for the whole 3 days, and then that really just allowed us to get to know each other better. And that's really hard for us to do that in school, because we're such a diverse class, and it's really hard to find something to, have in common.
Yeah, we get extremely close to each other and close to our teachers, which I think is really rare in a high school experience. Usually it's just people feel really isolated in high school. It's kind of a typical thing, but Walc kind of eliminates that feeling.
The definition of school is you sit down in a class and you do work and you learn about whatever is in that textbook. But for Walc, we actually go out, do camping trips, day hikes, and connect what we learn in the textbook and in the classroom outside to the environment and to us as well. We connect everything that we learn from our main concepts that they give us and connect it to ourselves and in the environment.
The outdoor education has two big advantages to classroom education. One is that you're outside, so you can see the stuff we're talking about right in front of you. And that immediately grabs students a little bit more. I'd say the attention level on trips compared to in the classroom is 10 times better.
In addition to that, you cannot, in my opinion, do that without having rigorous, honest academic expectations for your students. If it is simply an opportunity to go outside and play, then you're not doing your students any good. And so our academic standards are extremely high. We make sure that we are working to bring our students up to college level reading, writing, thinking, anything that we can, in terms of making sure that our students are not ill-served by a simply experiential program.
I think the main goal is to give students a sense of how they fit into the natural world and the social and economic systems that we have built upon that natural world.
What's their place here at Bal, here in San Francisco, and here on Earth? Secondly, their sense of responsibility that kind of comes out of that. responsibility for their community and for the environment.
Walc, like, it gives you a lot of like social like values, like a whole bunch of things that like it can't be all you have to think of the larger picture. So we did this unit on like affluenza, and apparently I have affluenza, so if I hadn't like learned about all that, I would have like gone through all this stuff and like just would have like started swiping my credit card, like would have kept swiping my credit card like crazy and not know about like the effects of that and like what it does to like the larger picture.
Just doing like recycling and composting has made me think about, oh, what's our world going to be like if we don't recycle and compost? What's our world going to be like if we do? And it's made me more aware of like environmental problems around the world. Like our landfills are just like piling up because no one recycles or composts.
And then the activism component, I think, is where they apply all of that. They basically take these concepts then and they try to express it in real, tangible ways.
The Legacy Project is a project that we inherit from the seniors. When we're juniors, you get to pick what legacy project you want to be in. There's gardening, there's recycling, there's composting, and there's the Fruity Girls. I'm in the gardening legacy project where we started like this native plant garden here. We got native plants to be planted to have our first native plant here at Balboa.
If Walc didn't exist, I would definitely be viewing things very differently. First of all, I would have hated high school. I probably would have like dropped out or something if Walc wasn't here.
If Walc didn't exist and if I weren't in Walc, I don't think I'd be myself. Like, just like having the teachers to talk to me when I need like help, and like having those outdoor experiences. Without having them, I don't think I'd like be happy. Like really, like. If Walc weren't around, I think I'd just be like sitting down on my like bed watching TV, playing video games, and instead, like with Walc, I'm actually going out and experiencing the outdoors, having fun times with my friends, having bonds like with my teachers that I never had before, and it's been great. Like I'm really about to like just cry when I graduate and I don't have Walc anymore.